G'day, it's Mike here, and I've been doing a course on the DF65 class of yacht, and I'm here with my boat number 52, and what we're talking today about is sail trim. More importantly, this is sail trim 101. So how do I set my sail up when I go out for a sail? The most important thing I think we want to concentrate on today is Telltales. And these are Telltales, and I want to focus today on the setting of the Telltales and what they do to tell us that we've set up properly. So here we have my boat. In particular, you see there's lots of Telltales, but the two most important Telltales are basically this bottom Telltale, which is roughly about 50% of the way up the sail, and the top Telltales, which is up here, which measures the twist. So this measures basically the flow of the sail, and this measures the twist up here. So what we're going to do is just have a look at this and what we concentrate on when I go and put these boats in the water. So I'll just get this out of the way so we can concentrate and look at these things. I've got a pen here. I've drawn out a DF65 there, but what I want to concentrate today is mainsails. The mainsail twist. And here we'll concentrate on this one, this mainsail here. The key issue on that Telltale is when you're working upwind, you've pulled your sail in and you want to work out where your angle of attack is by moving your boom in and out. Your main sheet does that, and the main sheet affects, obviously, this Telltale. If the Telltales are dead straight, like flowing like that, that's a big tick. Because what it means is the wind on the front edge of the sail and on the back edge of the sail is touching the sail and moving across the sail accurately. However, if we have a situation where the weather side of this sail is going like that and the back edge of the sail is going like straight, what that indicates is that the sail is, the luff is feathering, and the way you have to address that is by pulling your main sheet in further. Okay, so make sure that you need to pull your main sheet in further on that situation. That's a wrong setting. The next setting, which is a possibility, so what we're talking about here is that it's on the inside edge is fluttering. You need to pull the main sail in. If the same thing applies, if the outside edge of the sail is fluttering, i.e. the furthest one is fluttering like that, then what that means is you have to let your mainsail and the main sheet out further. Okay, so that's generally it. Okay, so that's what you do. So always remember, if it's fluttering on the inside and feathering on the inside, you have to pull it in. If it's feathering on the outside, you have to ease it out. Okay. So if that gives you a bit of a rundown on the settings for the main. Now what we're going to concentrate is that's on the main sheet. But what we're going to concentrate up here is the twist. So this one here is the main sheet. This one here is twist. So what we're talking about here is how do we affect twist? Well, we've got a boom bang down here, and that affects this position up here, which is the twist. So the same sort of thing, principles apply. If the two Telltales are dead straight, that's a big tick. If the inside Telltale is fluttering and you're getting a bit of backwinding on your main luff, what you need to do is reduce the twist. And by reducing the twist, what you need to do is you need to pull the boom down and tighten the twist. And you do that by adjusting this vang here, and pulls the boom down and tightens the twist up. That gives you more power. We don't really have on these boats a Telltale which comes off the back here, right? In most boats you do, but we're not allowed this. But what this indicates is we want the flow of wind coming out of the twist to be even, so that if there was a string or a line there, it would be coming out. Okay, so that's the critical thing there. So if the same sort of thing here applies, that's on the outside, if it's on the outside and this is flapping on the outside, we need to that means you basically shed it in too much, or your twisters, you've got too tight a twist, and you have to ease the twist out, and the way you do that is by easing the vang. Okay, so if the outside one is fluttering, you have to ease the vang. And you do that through the main chute. Alrighty, so that's basically it. I trust that helps you work out what you do with the main chute and the twist. What you then do is you go out and you test these things, look at the boat on the water to see whether it's sailing correctly and it feels balanced, and you bring it back in once, or you need to adjust these probably 2 or 3 times before you get that right. What we really want is for all of these Telltales to be breaking at the same time on your mainsail. So if you're luffing up into the wind, which is a good test, the inside one will break first, right consistently right across the sail. If you bear away, the outside one will break consistently along there. All right, we're next going to look at the jib. Thank you. G'day, back on the jib, which is a really important part of the sail. The jib is controlled by your jib sheet, which runs from the boom down to here, back to your winch here, and is pulled in. So your jib boom position is critical to determine the angle of the attack. Generally, with these boats, we have a 40% angle of attack with the jib boom. So in the true wind, it's about 40 degrees. With the apparent wind, it's around about 20 degrees. So when the boat's moving forward, it moves the true wind forward, and your apparent wind is hitting the sail at about a 20-degree angle. Okay, so you basically set your jib boom according to trial and error and testing procedures to work out what is the best angle for the various breeze. Now that will change depending on the chop and other variables. But what we're going to look at now is we've set the jib boom up correctly, what we think is correct, and we're going to look at the Telltales. The Telltales gives us a clear indication of where the sail should be set, particularly in relation to the twist. So here we have the jib, and where we have the jib, both Telltales like that, that's a big tick, okay, because it basically means that the wind is hitting the sail evenly on both sides and creating an even force across the sail. When the Telltale, the yellow, this one was on the outside edge, where that is fluttering, or I should say where it's down, it usually goes down, or like that, it indicates that the jib needs to go out further. Okay, so in that sort of scenario where your outside jib is, your outside sail is fluttering or falling down, you need to ease your jib boom out. Or if you've set your jib boom in the right place, then what we have to do is think about increasing the twist. And the way we increase the twist is through the, just let me get one of these, is through the jib boom topping lift, which is this contraption here. By lifting that up, you open the twist up. By pulling it down, you close the twist and reduce the twist. So it's about getting the right shape in that sail so that these Telltales are flowing correctly. And that's just a trial and error sort of arrangement, a trial and thing. So when the outside one's flapping, you need to increase your twist. Very important in this section of the sail to make sure that twist is flowing straight through there, and there's no stalling effect which comes through on the back edge of the leech, because you want a clean wind passage through the slot of the sail. So if the inside telltale is down or flapping around like that, and your other one's dead straight on the outside, that means is that you have to pull your jib sheet in, or you close your the twist. You've got too much twist in there. So it's about getting the balance right, and this is about practice on water. The way in which you establish what the right jib boom measurement and the main boom measurement is to basically experiment with another boat and really just go out there and sail against each other, one being a control boat with no changes, and the other boat moving their jib boom out, main boom in, jib boom in, and doing all the combinations in a slow and methodical way to work out where the best angle is, and the angle which gives you the fastest performance across the sailing spectrum for that particular breeze. What you'll find is, as stronger breezes comes in, it changes the way in which you set up your rigs going forward, and we'll just discuss that shortly. So what we're looking at now is our setup, and just making sure that we've set it up correctly, but more importantly that the relationship between the mainsail and the jib and that slot is well structured. What we really want to achieve is a leech on the jib and the mainsail which is identical in shape. And the reason we want that as identical in shape is because it gives us, it's turning the wind and mirroring it on the other sail. So what we want is a nice slot where the wind goes through gently through here. It's not backing up against the main. Like if that was set like that, it would be backing up against the main. You can see it's backwinding just there now. Okay, we don't want that. We want it nice and open. We want it open so that we can actually, there's a nice open gap there so it can sail, the wind can go through there. Reduce the amount of vortex on the back edge, vortex is another word for drag on the back edge of the sails. This is where the drag section of the sail is, this drag down here. And what effectively that slot is doing is pushing the wind back and reducing the drag or the vortex on the back edge of the sail. This takes a lot of time and effort to work at. You know, it might take you, in our case, maybe 5 years to get the right measurements. But there you can see that we've been working at this, trying to get the things right. So I trust that helps you. What I generally do is go out there, put my finger on there to see whether the boat is balanced in the breeze, making sure that in the stronger breezes that there is balance, which is the most critical thing. This is not balanced at the moment. There's a lot of weather helm, so I'd have to adjust that bang to reduce the amount of twist and take the pressure out of the back edge of the sail. But it's all about understanding the conditions and getting experience and time and practice out there in the water. We are running a beginners to masters class, which encompasses all of this information and more. It also has my own personal measurements on 52, and I think it's a course which is extremely worthwhile, particularly if you're beginning in the class, or even if you're advanced, if you've got advanced skills in the class, as they give you, there's over 150 pages of information on setups, how to get your boat performing as best as possible, and basically improving your boat's performance across a range of breezes. It's not only A+, it's also A, B rigs, which I have done the measurements for. And so please feel welcome to join the masterclass. Details can be forwarded to you if you email me on mjeffs333@gmail.com. The details of the email is detailed below. Anyway, if you're interested, please send me a message or email me on that email below. Look forward to seeing you on the water. Bye for now.